The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Vex Thor's translation collar flickered with the verdict. Susan Martinez stood beside Evan Chen, both wearing their standard Earth diplomatic uniforms, as the assembled alien representatives delivered humanity's sentence. The species designated Homo sapiens has been evaluated, Vex Thor announced, his crystalline form refracting the chamber's dim light. Your homeworld classification. Class 15. Death World. Your survival probability on standard worlds. 97.3%. Your integration threat level. Critical. Evan felt Susan's hand grip his arm. Around them, 200 species from across the galaxy watched with expressions ranging from pity to fear. Therefore, Vex Thor continued, humanity shall be relocated to designation CAR 3, a Class 15 death world matching your native environment. There, you may live without endangering civilized space. Susan stepped forward, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. You're exiling us because we're too dangerous? Not dangerous, corrected Ambassador Thelrin, a mantis-like being from the Harmony Collective. Terrifying. Your species evolved in conditions that would kill 98% of known sapient life within hours. Your planet has megafauna that hunt you, weather systems that obliterate your settlements, tectonic activity that destroys your cities, microscopic organisms that wage constant war against your biology. She clicked her mandibles nervously. And yet, you smile. You sing. You thrive. Do you understand how horrifying that is to us? Evan glanced at Susan, then back at the council. CAR 3 is worse than Earth, Vex Thor said quietly. Gravity. 1. 4G. Atmospheric pressure. 1.7 standard. Native life forms. Universally hostile. Volcanic activity. Constant. Previous colonization attempts. 17 species. Survival time. None exceeded 2 standard cycles. You're hoping it kills us, Susan said flatly. The chamber erupted in clicks, whistles, and translated protests. But Vex Thor raised a crystalline appendage for silence. We are hoping, he said with something that might have been genuine sadness, that you will finally understand your limitations, that you will call for evacuation, that you will accept resettlement to the preservation zones, where the Council can manage your population. Evan felt anger surge through him. But Susan's voice cut through first. When do we leave? 6 months later, the Council convened again. This time, they gathered not in ceremony but in emergency session. The holographic display showed CAR 3, its angry red surface now dotted with lights. Impossible, breathed Thelrin. Vex's Thor activated the communication channel. On the screen, Susan appeared, her face tanned and smiling, standing in what appeared to be a greenhouse. Through the transparent walls behind her, CAR 3's hostile landscape loomed, but something was different. Ambassador Martinez, Vex Thor began, his voice unit struggling with static. Your status report? We've established 7 settlements, Susan replied cheerfully. Population, 43,000, and growing. Evan's heading up the agricultural division. We've successfully adapted 27 earth crops to the local soil chemistry. The gravity's actually great for our bone density. Oh, and the native fauna? She gestured off-screen. A creature that resembled a 6-legged bear with crystalline spines lumbered past, wearing what appeared to be a tracking collar. Turns out they're just territorial, not actively malicious. We've domesticated 3 species so far. Evan thinks we can ride the bigger ones by next year. The Council sat in stunned silence. But the volcanic activity, Thelrin whispered. The atmospheric storms. The radiation from the binary star system. Oh. Those? Susan laughed. Yeah. Evan designed these really cool underground thermal exchange systems that turn the volcanic vents into power sources. The storms are predictable once you map the pressure systems. We've actually started using them for wind generation. And the radiation? She tapped the greenhouse wall. Turns out the local crystal formations make excellent shielding. We've built most structures partially underground with crystal-reinforced walls. Evan appeared beside Susan on screen, dirt on his face and grinning. Hey, Council. Thanks for the world. By the way, the challenges here are actually pushing our innovation in amazing directions. We've made more technological progress in 6 months than we did in the previous decade on Earth. How? Vex Thor could barely form the words. How are you not dead? Susan and Evan exchanged glances. Susan spoke first, her smile fading into something more serious. You know what the difference is between humans and most of the galaxy? She asked. You evolved on worlds that were kind to you. Stable. Safe. When you encountered danger, you could avoid it, hide from it, wait for it to pass, Evan continued. We didn't have that luxury. Earth tried to kill us every single day. So we learned not to wait, not to hide. We learned to push back, to adapt, to turn threats into tools. You called Earth a Class 15 death world like it was a prison sentence, Susan said softly. But for us, it was home. It was school. It was the forge that made us who we are. And Car 3? Evan gestured to the hostile world around them. It's just another classroom. The council chamber remained silent. Slowly, the implications settled over the assembled species like a shroud. They had sent humanity to a death world as exile, as punishment, as a solution. Instead, they had given them a gift. Vex Thor's translation collar finally crackled to life. Ambassador Martinez, what are your intentions? Susan's smile returned, but now it held an edge that made every species in the council shiver in their own unique ways. We're going to thrive, Ambassador. And then, when Car 3 feels like home, she paused, letting the words hang. We're going to find Car 4, and 5, and every other impossible world you've written off. Evan leaned into frame. Humanity doesn't run from death worlds, Council. We collect them. Oak. The transmission ended. In the council chamber, 200 species sat in the darkness, finally understanding what they'd done. They hadn't contained humanity's threat to civilized space. They'd given them an entire classification of worlds that no one else wanted, and humanity was going to fill them all. Hope for the council's plan had died the moment humanity spoke. But for humanity, in the most hostile environments imaginable, hope had only just begun to grow, like everything else they touched, thriving against impossible odds.